Hi students, last lecture we have seen construction and working of galvanometer and the relation between deflection produced in the galvanometer coil with current, means how does the deflection factor affects with the current. Now in this lecture we are going to discuss about the sensitivity of galvanometer, then how do we convert galvanometer into ammeter and voltmeter. Next, sensitivity of galvanometer. If you see, the sensitivity of galvanometer is nothing but, means in simple way we can say the galvanometer is said to be sensitive when the galvanometer produces large amount of deflection by passing through a small amount of current. Means if you give a small amount of current to the galvanometer coil and if the galvanometer is producing large amount of deflection, then we can say the galvanometer is very sensitive, isn't it? So basically the sensitivity of galvanometer is nothing but it is the ratio of change in deflection, that is d theta, of galvanometer to the change in current, that is di in the coil. So it is the ratio of change in deflection per unit change in current in the galvanometer coil and it is represented by symbol S. Now as I said, the sensitivity of galvanometer is higher if the galvanometer shows large deflection for a very small value of the current. Okay, now basically the sensitivity of the galvanometer is divided into two types. First, current sensitivity and second, voltage sensitivity. So we'll see in detail. So first we'll see what is current sensitivity. The deflection per unit current is known as current sensitivity, my dear student. The definition of the current sensitivity is very easy. The deflection produced in the galvanometer per unit current passing through the galvanometer, that is deflection per unit current, it is the simplest ratio, is called as current sensitivity and it is represented by symbol theta divided by I. But we know that in last expression of the galvanometer we have learned that the relation between deflection produced and current. So we know that theta is equal to NAB divided by K is equal to I, where theta is the deflection produced in the galvanometer coil, N is the number of turns of the galvanometer coil, A is area of cross section, B is the magnetic field applied, K is the torsional constant and I is current flowing through the galvanometer. So by using this relation we can find the expression for current sensitivity, that is theta by I. So simply we have to divide this equation by I. So the expression for current sensitivity will be theta upon I is equal to NAB upon K. Okay, so hope it is very clear to you. So from this equation we can say current sensitivity is totally depends on only four things. First, number of turns in the galvanometer coil, area of cross section of the coil, magnetic field. Means if we increase number of turns, area or magnetic field, the current sensitivity of the galvanometer will increase. Okay, and current sensitivity is decreased by increasing the value of the torsional constant. So these are the four factors which can heavily affect on the current sensitivity. So once again, current sensitivity, it is the ratio of deflection per unit current and this is the expression for current sensitivity. Now next point we will see the voltage sensitivity. Similarly, it is the ratio of deflection produced in the galvanometer per unit voltage, that is deflection per unit voltage is nothing but voltage sensitivity and it is represented by symbol theta divided by V. So if you see the formula, the relation between current and deflection as we have seen previous slide, that is this relation theta is equal to NAB upon K into I. So divide this equation V, so we'll get theta by V is equal to NAB by K into I divided by V. But I divided by V according to Ohm's law it is nothing but 1 upon R, because R is nothing but V by R, V by I. So I by V we can write I by R. So from this equation we can get the formula for voltage sensitivity, that is theta by V is equal to NAB upon KR. So here we can say the voltage sensitivity, it is the ratio of deflection per unit voltage, and it is totally depends on number of turns in the galvanometer coil, area, magnetic field and torsional constant. And yes, if you want to decrease the voltage sensitivity, simply we have to increase the resistance, okay, because it is again depends on the resistance, value of resistance. So here we can say R stands for the effective resistance in the circuit. So now we'll see factors affecting on sensitivity of the galvanometer. What are the different factors that are going to affect on the sensitivity? As we know the formulas, this is the formula for current sensitivity and this is the formula for voltage sensitivity. So thing is very clear, current sensitivity is nothing but deflection per unit current and voltage sensitivity is nothing but deflection per unit voltage or potential difference, and these are the quantities which the sensitivity of the galvanometer depends. So the first thing, the sensitivity of the galvanometer is totally depends on the number of coils or number of turns in the coil. If you increase the number of turns, the sensitivity of the galvanometer will increase. Second, the area of coil. If you increase the area of coil, the sensitivity of the galvanometer will increase. Then third, magnetic field B. Here you can see, if you increase the magnetic field in the galvanometer coil, definitely the sensitivity of the coil will increase. And at last, the torsional constant K, and in voltage sensitivity the resistance R. If you increase K and R value, then definitely the sensitivity of the galvanometer is going to decrease. So there are four factors, okay, common factors which sensitivity of the current and voltage sensitivity of the galvanometer can define. First, the number of turns, area of the coil, magnetic field and torsional constant. Now here is the very important point in terms of the examination, CBSE examination. Many times the board used to ask the question, how do we convert galvanometer into ammeter and how do we convert galvanometer into voltmeter? So here we are going to discuss what is ammeter and voltmeter in detail, because my dear student, we know that ammeter is nothing but it is a device which is used to measure the electric current in the circuit, isn't it? It is a device which is used to measure the electric current in the circuit. So here we'll see some basic definitions of the ammeter. There are two definitions I will be giving. So first definition is very easy. If we design, here we can see, you write down both the definition, write down the basic definition which I have not given in this slide. If we design the galvanometer coil in such a way so that it measures only current, then this arrangement is called as ammeter. I repeat, when we design the galvanometer in such a way so that it measures only current, then this arrangement is called as ammeter. So how do we design this? So for that we have to see the second definition. If the very small resistance, that is shunt resistance, we can say, if very small resistance or shunt resistance is connected parallel to the galvanometer, then the galvanometer converts into ammeter. I repeat, if very small resistance, shunt resistance is connected parallel to the galvanometer, then the galvanometer converts into ammeter. So my dear student, here we can see in this figure, this is the galvanometer coil G. G is the galvanometer, that is G. Here you can write, because I have not given the symbol meanings of the figure. So G is the resistance of the galvanometer, that is galvanometer resistance. Okay, I is the current flowing through the circuit and Ig is current flowing through the galvanometer. Because here if you see, as per the definition, if you connect shunt resistance, shunt means very small resistance, parallel to the galvanometer coil, these are the parallel combination. Okay, so if you pass total current with the help of battery in the galvanometer, here the circuit we can draw, but no need to draw in this case. So means this battery and this all these things, but this circuit has to be drawn in the examination. So total amount of current with the help of battery we are flowing through the galvanometer coil. At this point, current has segregated or distributed into two branches. First, Ig is current flowing through the galvanometer and Is is the current flowing through the shunt resistance. But Is is nothing but total current I minus Ig. That's why I have written here Is is equal to I minus Ig, and here again we'll get the Ig. So again I'll explain. G is the galvanometer resistance, S is the shunt resistance, Ig is the current flowing through the galvanometer, and Is is the current flowing through the shunt resistance. But we know that as if you connect both the resistances, this is galvanometer resistance and shunt resistance, both the resistances, as they are connected parallel, and as we know that parallel combination of resistances, if you connect resistances in parallel, then potential difference across each and every resistor will be same. So potential difference across galvanometer and shunt resistance are equal. So we know that potential difference is nothing but, according to Ohm's law, V is equal to IR, that is, it is the product of current into resistance. So we will see potential difference across galvanometer is equal to potential difference across shunt resistance. But if you want to find the potential difference across shunt resistance, then it will be current into resistance across shunt resistance and current into resistance in galvanometer. So the current in shunt resistance is Is, into resistance is S. So current in galvanometer is Ig, into resistance of galvanometer is G. So we got the equation Is S is equal to Igg. So this is the potential difference across shunt resistance is equal to, this is the potential difference across galvanometer, okay, as per this condition. So again we know that Is is nothing but total current minus the current distributed through the galvanometer coil, means Is is nothing but I minus Ig. So we'll put this in equation, this you give this equation number 1. So instead of Is we can write I minus Ig, S is equal to Igg. So here I minus Ig into S is equal to Igg, and from this equation we can convert as per our demand. If you want to find the shunt resistance, you can calculate. If you want to find the current in galvanometer coil, then G has to be shifted towards a denominator of left hand side. If you want to find I, also we can calculate. So the many formulas we can design. So we can write shunt resistance S is equal to Ig G upon I minus Ig. So S is the shunt resistance, Ig is the current flowing through the galvanometer, G is the resistance of galvanometer coil, I is the total current, and Ig is the current flowing through the galvanometer, as I said. So from this equation you can find all this value, okay, and this equation is the golden equation. We have to convert as per our demand in the numerical, okay. So hope you understood. So by using this equation we can calculate galvanometer resistance or current flowing through the galvanometer. So basic things here we have to write, my dear student, in the examination. So in exam perspective we have to write the definition. How do we convert galvanometer into ammeter? So simply we have to apply very small resistance S to the parallel to the galvanometer coil, so that galvanometer only measures the current, because if you apply shunt resistance that in parallel, so effective resistance will decrease, so it will only measures the current, resistance is almost zero, okay. That's why this arrangement is called as ammeter. So and this figure and this mathematical formulas. Now advantages of connecting shunt resistance in parallel. So here what are the advantages by connecting this shunt resistance in the parallel with the galvanometer coil? We'll see. First is very important advantage we have, as the resistance is connected in parallel, so it decreases the effective resistance of the galvanometer. Clear? So as we have to design this circuit to measure current, so current has to be very less, and if you connect shunt resistance that too in parallel, so decreases its resistance, so we'll get full current, so we can calculate the total current in the circuit, okay, accurately. So that's why as resistance is connected in parallel, it decreases effective resistance of the galvanometer. Second, it reduces danger of damaging the galvanometer due to high current, okay. And third, it helps to decide the scale, okay, to measure current. Means by using this parallel resistance, as it is connected in across the galvanometer coil, we can decide the scale. Now the next point, conversion of galvanometer into voltmeter. So how do we convert galvanometer into voltmeter? So my dear student, first I'll see or give the basic definition. Voltmeter is nothing but device which is used to determine the potential difference or voltage in the circuit, isn't it? So if you design the galvanometer in such a way so that it could measure only voltage, such arrangement is called as galvanometer. I repeat the basic definition. If we design galvanometer in such a way so that it measures the voltage directly or voltage only in the circuit, then such arrangement is called as voltmeter. So we'll see the definition which need to be written in the examination. If high resistance R is connected in series, okay, in previous case we have connected shunt resistance in parallel, so here we are going to connect in voltmeter case high resistance in series. If high resistance R is connected in series to the galvanometer, then the galvanometer converts into voltmeter, isn't it? Means here if you see the circuit, R is the high resistance, G, as we have seen in previous slide, G is the resistance of galvanometer coil, Ig is current flowing through the galvanometer, okay, and here Vg is the potential difference across galvanometer and Vr is the potential difference across resistance, okay. So if you design the galvanometer in such a way that is high resistance is connected, so this high resistance, what this high resistance will do, this high resistance actually cut off all the currents, means it opposes all the currents, so we'll get the accurate potential difference across the two terminal of the galvanometer, that is we can measure only voltage or potential difference. So that is the basic reason why we are connecting high resistance. If you connect high resistance, then definitely the current will be blocked, then only we can measure voltage or potential difference, okay. So again, Ig is current flowing through the galvanometer, R is shunt resistance, sorry, high resistance connected in series, Vg is potential difference across galvanometer coil, Vr is potential difference across resistor R, and V is the total potential difference. So total potential difference in the series combination, we know that if you connect resistances in series, then potential difference of each and every resistors will be different. That's why Vg is potential difference across galvanometer and Vr is the potential difference across resistor. So V is equal to, we can write, so total potential difference in the circuit is the sum of potential difference across galvanometer and potential difference across high resistance. So we can write total potential difference is equal to potential difference across galvanometer plus potential difference across high resistance. So potential difference is nothing but product of current into resistance. V is equal to IR according to Ohm's law. So across galvanometer we can write current Ig and resistance G, and across this resistance we can write current Ig, because as we know, if you connect here, my dear student, you may face one confusion कि why current flowing through the galvanometer and resistance is Ig, because if you connect resistances in series as they are following same path, so current across each and every resistor will be same, as we have done in last year also and 10th class also. That's why current flowing through the G and R will be same as they are connected in series. So current across Vg and Vr will be same, that is Ig, okay. So Ig we are will take outside common from this equation, so total potential difference across this voltmeter will get Ig is equal to G plus R, and from using this equation we can calculate the potential difference or voltage, okay. And we can, as I said in previous slide also, we can convert this equation as per our demand and we can find each and everything, that is R is high resistance connected in series, potential difference, current across galvanometer and resistance in galvanometer. So by using this equation we can calculate the galvanometer resistance or potential difference across the galvanometer. So hope you understood, my dear student. Here only 2 or 3 things we have to write. First, definition you write. If high resistance R is connected in series to the galvanometer, then galvanometer is converted into voltmeter. Then you draw the figure very accurately and then mathematical expressions. Okay. Now, advantages of connecting high resistance in series. So very easy. First, as resistance is connected in series, so it increases the effective resistance in the circuit. So it increases the effective resistance in the circuit so that we can measure the current accurately. This is the first advantage. Second, we can write it reduces the danger of damaging the galvanometer due to high current, because as you are connecting high resistance here, so current will be negligibly less in this case. So there is no any danger to get damage the galvanometer due to high current. And then it helps us to decide the scale to measure the voltmeter or potential difference. So hope you understood, students. Next, next we'll see what is the exact difference between ammeter and voltmeter on the basis of 7 different points. So first we'll see the ammeter. It is the low resistance instrument, means in ammeter resistance is very less, because unless and until we keep resistance low we cannot measure accurate current. That's why resistance has to be less, okay, or lower. Then voltmeter, it is the high resistance instrument. Then as just now we have seen the equations, resistance in the galvanometer we can ammeter we can calculate by equation gs is equal to g plus s, where g is galvanometer resistance and s is shunt resistance. And resistance in voltmeter you can calculate g plus r, where g is galvanometer resistance plus r is resistance in series, high resistance. Okay, because here we have applied parallel combination formula and here we have applied series combination formula. As here g and s both are connected in parallel and here g and r both are connected in series. Shunt resistance we can calculate by using this formula, and here we can calculate series resistance by using this formula. Then ammeter, it is always connected in series, as from 10th standard we have been learning that ammeter is always connected in series to measure the flow of current, and voltmeter is always connected in parallel to measure the potential difference. Then very important thing, resistance of an ideal ammeter is 0. Just note down that point, very important my dear student. Resistance of an ideal ammeter is 0, because unless and until we keep the resistance 0 will not get the accurate current. That's why resistance of an ideal ammeter is always 0. Then resistance of an ideal voltmeter is infinity, because here we have to block the current in order to measure the potential difference. So if you block the current, that's why we have to apply the infinity resistance. That's why we are connecting shunt resistance, that's why we are connecting high resistance in series. So its resistance is less than that of the galvanometer. मतलब galvanometer से ammeter का resistance कम होता है, and its resistance is greater than that of the voltmeter. Means whatever resistance we are connecting in voltmeter, that is always greater than the voltmeter resistance. And it is not possible to decrease the range of the given ammeter, but yes, it is possible to decrease the range of the given voltmeter. So hope you understood my dear student. Thank you.